I can't believe I'm saying this, but Avengers Endgame came out in 2019, and I'm recording this video in September 2020. It's been just a little over a year since Avengers Endgame came out, and Spider-Man Far From Home, the real last Marvel movie that we got, but it feels like it's been years from another lifetime. So in this video, I want to share my opinion, but I also want to start a larger discussion with this video, one that I hope you'll continue down in the comments below. So leave your opinions, leave your thoughts about this idea. Over the past several years, there have been these discussions and reports about this idea called superhero fatigue. If it's actually real or not is completely up for debate, but another argument can actually be made for if this pandemic that we've been going throughout 2020 has actually saved the superhero genre from its own fatigue. The pandemic and theaters being closed down, whether we like it or not, has shown that some film genres just needed a rest. I mean, just look at recent previous years. Warner Brothers was putting out at least 1 or 2 DC films a year. Marvel was putting out up to 4 films a year. And then there's those films that don't belong to DC or Marvel, but were still coming out a few times a year. On top of that, there were all the DC Comics shows. There was the Defenders Marvel shows on Netflix. Plus we had shows like The Umbrella Academy or The Boys. And then DC went and dropped an entire streaming service of superhero content on us in 2019. Superhero fatigue was something that even I was contemplating. Was I losing excitement for these movies that I actually really enjoyed going to see normally? And you can look at the king of that genre, Marvel Studios, for the clues. After Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home, there was actually a pretty lengthy block of time without a Marvel film, until we would get Black Widow. And even with that buffer, it just felt like nobody was excited for Black Widow, at least not at the level of the previously named films. Looking to Disney+, Marvel was going to be launching a few series this year as well, with The Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, but those were also delayed. Now there was excitement for these shows, but I would argue that there is a total difference between watching a streaming service show and going to the movie theaters. Outside of paying your normal streaming fees month to month, it's really easy to pop on a show for free and watch it from your couch, versus actually having to go out of your home, go to a movie theater, and pay money to see a movie. You're more likely to take a chance on a show if it's free or if it's worth $6.99 a month with all your other shows than pay $20, $30 or more at the movie theaters with you and your friends. On the flip side of the argument, you can look at a movie like Spider-Man Far From Home, a movie that only came out a month or so after Avengers Endgame, which I think we could all unanimously agree that if there was a pinnacle starting point to superhero fatigue, that might be it. After Avengers Endgame, it really felt like we were wiping the slate clean and starting new. For some people, that probably meant that they were dropping off and not going to be watching any more superhero films, as they saw the thing they wanted to see play out. But Spider-Man Far From Home would make over $1 billion at the movie theaters. But regardless if there was actual fatigue, the movie theaters were completely shut down thanks to the pandemic, and everything was pushed back. And when Disney decided to drop New Mutants into theaters as soon as they were reopening in August of 2020, it had been over a year since we'd seen any Marvel properties on the big screen. Now obviously, with a lot of theaters still being closed and there being very minimal occupancy in opened theaters, New Mutants hasn't made a ton of money. It's not been a financial success, but it has garnered some excitement for future developments. And let me just say this about New Mutants. It's not necessarily your A-tier quality Marvel film. A lot of people weren't even probably going to see this film, but people chose to go see it because they wanted to get back into movie theaters. They wanted to get back to seeing superhero films. What New Mutants was a small taste to whet your appetite for future installments like Black Widow or some of the other Disney Plus series that are still coming even though they were delayed. And the excitement around those properties seems to have swelled and grown. And I would say there are more people excited for those things now than there were before the pandemic hit. 2020 has been a year I'd like to forget, thanks to the quarantining and the politics and all of the world problems with wildfires and hurricanes and whatnot. But I am thankful that we were able to get a break from things. And I was able to sit at home and really think about the things that I loved and why I loved them and why I missed them in this time. There have been things that I've missed this year that I didn't think I would miss. And truthfully, I may have gone through that superhero fatigue. But now I've gotten over it, and I'm excited about the future of what the Marvel properties hold and what the superhero genre will become in general. I miss them because they're films that lift my spirits, show me a good time, and showcase that good really does triumph over evil. But I'd like to hear from you. Do you think that superhero fatigue is a real thing? And if so, has the quarantining during this year actually helped superhero fatigue, or has it hurt the Marvel and DC and other superhero properties? Are you more or less excited about films like Black Widow or Wonder Woman 84 because we've had these things delayed for so long? Make sure to leave your comments down below. I'll make sure to reply back. I love hearing from you and starting a discussion like this. And I'll be continuing this discussion over on Discord. And if you'd like to be part of our Discord chat server, you can join it by joining Patreon. Patreon is a way to support what I do for a monthly fee. And I'm not talking about a subscription fee that's $10 or $20 or anything like that. For just $1 a month, you can support me and gain access to the Discord server. And there are other tiers that get you access to exclusive podcasts and exclusive videos. And in that ability to join our Discord server, you can join a chat room where we can talk about whatever, whenever we want. Another way to support the channel is by subscribing if you've not, and make sure to like this video as it does help spread the video around to other people who may not have gotten a chance to see it or may not be subscribed yet. And if you'd like to see more content from me, you can just click on one of the videos over here to the side. And until next time, thanks for watching and keep moving forward.